Gideon with a G now. So I am 12 days late reacting to Gideon's 1,000 subscriber special, and the day I upload this on Wednesday, I will be 13 days late. But, I had no idea what to upload this Wednesday. I could have reacted to more Leve like you guys suggested, but I feel like I reacted to her enough. 2 is enough. I'm happy for Gideon giving his life totally to Christ. It definitely, you guys know I serve God. I follow Jesus Christ's teachings. I also myself try to be more disciplined in God and be more committed to Him every day and not compromise, And this really strengthens my faith because Gideon did not compromise. Even when he was making good money, doing what he was doing. But he didn't let the money rule over him. He still kept his core values, and I know there were many YouTubers, and the one I know specifically that was always rooting for Gideon and encouraging his faith in Christ and his walk was George Janko. I really like him. He left impulsive because of how he was just not gonna compromise his faith, even though people were annoyed that the only perspective he could offer on the podcast was a Christian perspective. That's who he is. You know who you invited on the podcast. Logan knew who he was, when he met him. So it's just glad to show, because oftentimes with YouTubers who have a lot of money or making money, you think they'll choose it over God, because a lot of times they get, more reliant on the money, and they think they don't need God because the money seems to be making a way. The money seems to be making them prosper. He deleted all his old videos. I was disappointed in that, but it just shows how committed he is to this walk. It's a brand new start, a fresh new start. He has a new profile picture. His content from the past is gone, all the pranks. It's just like, I would love to watch his old pranks sometimes, just to reminisce. I love to reminisce, but he said retired menace. That's who he is now, and I'm happy for him, and I try to do it every day. That's why my worst fear is being in this position that Gideon's in. He's starting to lose a lot of his following. It's because he built his whole content outside of his faith. So now that he's being more committed, his audience is leaving him because that's not what they signed up for, And that's what I try to not do every day I'm on YouTube. The bigger my channel gets, I try to remind people of the lifestyle I live. So it's not a big surprise when I mention my faith, my core values, and who I serve, I never want to build a following off of just, reacting and never mentioning Christ's name. And then if I mention it one day, if a political conversation comes up, I don't want to lose all my following because they just now see me being committed to Christ, and they're like, oh, she's being different. Her content wasn't even centered around Christ. I'm always going to center my content, give thanks to Him first. God, YouTube. It's been God over YouTube for me, and now it's God over YouTube for Gideon, and it's God over YouTube for a lot of Christian, Christ follower content creators. But I'm just glad, he's doing it. I just hope he doesn't get discouraged or get tempted to do trendy, stupid things to gain a following. Yes, he's losing a lot of the old people, but I bet the Christians whose faith, I know this has increased their faith, because Christians, we watch anybody, which sometimes we shouldn't do, but I know there's a lot of people who believe in God who are watching Gideon, and to see him being as bold as he is has made them be like, hey, maybe I should get more serious about my walk with Christ. Maybe I should be more committed. This is sacrifice, and I just know that God honors sacrifice, and Gideon's going to be blessed. I just think what I'm praying for Gideon right now is perseverance, and for him to be able to sustain, not stray off the path, this narrow path, because he's human. I think anybody, myself included, would be discouraged to see you have millions of followers and then you wake up one day and it's going down every time you get up in the morning, every day. And that would discourage anybody, like, dang, you see red numbers. Nobody wants to lose followers. You got this, Gideon. You got encouragement from people. Even if you don't see my video, you have encouragement. You got people rooting for you. We're all rooting for each other. All right, that's enough talking. Let's hop into the video and see from Gideon. Let's hear from Gideon himself.
It's all gone. This is all that's left. Let's go on the second channel.
Oh, this is a second channel. Okay. Oh, he's got to delete those too.
That's left. Let's go on the third channel.
He has 3 channels?
Nothing left.
God did.
Yo, what's good, YouTube, man? It's
Why
your
did that scare
boy,
me?
Gideon, aka Gideon,
Thick
aka
thighs.
the third,
Gideon.
aka... I don't know what other names I have, but I know I have a lot. I know a lot of you guys thought my last video was gonna be my last video, and I thought that as well. But with the big change, as you guys can see on the channel, I felt like I owe you guys an explanation. I scourged the earth of all Gideon content. And I know a lot of you guys are gonna be mad, bro. I mean, my DMs were, woo, I had a lot of mean comments in my DMs about me just saying how I'm stopping making content. So the fact that I took away the content, I can only imagine how mad a lot of you guys would be. But this explanation isn't for the people that are mad. This is for people that are confused, for the people wondering. And I feel like you guys deserve a clear, very clear and detailed reason. Why did you delete all your videos, Gideon? I would say the main thing that people have hit me with since I've given my life back to Christ is, why can't you follow Christ and make content? I mean, you're over here making millions upon millions of people happy. Isn't that of God? Isn't it a godly thing to put a smile on people's faces and to make them happy?
No.
Bringing happiness to the world is of God. You can also bring happiness to the world through wickedness. You can bring happiness to the world by serving the devil, you know? Not all happiness is from God. And I know for a fact, you know, there's no Christian in the right mind.
It's God is very intentional about the way he does things.
And I'm not gonna even try to make that case, you know? And, you know, if I'm gonna truly give my life over to God, I gotta also take out the wickedness that I put into the world. So, why did I delete all of my prank videos? Well, let's look up the definition of the word prank.
I love the
Then let's hop into
accountability.
the scriptures and see what God thinks about pranks. Because he actually did say some things about there. I didn't even know about them. God did say some things about pranks. So this is from collinsdictionary.com. Prank, a noun, a mischievous trick or joke, especially one in which something is done rather than said. If you do a trick on somebody, you have to deceive them. And we all know who is the master and the king of deception. That's Satan himself. So every time that I'm doing a prank or doing a prank on a person, I am literally
laughing at the expense of others is not
himself. Satan did.
Happiness.
You're dragging it, you're stretching it, but I'm gonna show you guys. Just stick with me. We're gonna go to Proverbs chapter 26 and start at verse 18. Like a madman who throws flaming darts and deadly arrows, so is the person who deceives his neighbor and says, I was only joking. So Solomon is comparing playing practical jokes on people in the name of good fun as a madman shooting flaming arrows in the air. So basically he's saying a person that goes around pranking people is the same type of energy of a madman just going around killing people. And when you look at my content, bro, it's really not far off. I mean, I did a lot of crazy stuff in my videos.
Yes, bold
But the
stuff.
one thing I think that haunts me the most is one of my most popular pranks was whenever I snuck into the Gatorade HQ and I deceived the security guards and lied and said that I was working there and that I was part of a commercial team. And I got the prank done, got millions of views off of it. So many people giving me props. But what a lot of you guys don't know is 3 people lost their jobs because of me. Because I lied and was saying that I worked there, I got 3 security officers fired that had been working there for years.
Man, that's true, because a lot of us who watched Gideon's pranks in the past, we never think about what happens after. We just see the prank get done, like with any person who does pranks. You know, we always think about what happened after, but we never, our minds, for me, I'll speak for myself, my mind never goes to what happened after. Like, how was that establishment after Gideon left? You know, we just like, what's the next prank? But people have to live with the consequences of what he did, and they had to get punished for it. That's sad. 3 people lost their jobs because of a prank, and you're actually doing jokes at other people's expense. That's what every prank is. You're like, that's not cool. But I love that he's taking accountability for it. But when we do something, we should always think about how will it impact our future. When we do something to somebody else, how will it impact their future? We're not only supposed to do things for the present day in the moment. That's unwise. The earth is still spinning, you know?
All because I wanted to play a practical joke. All because I wanted to entertain you guys. And
right.
That's evil.
Being selfish, yeah.
That truly is evil. And to those people that I got fired, I'm sorry. I truly am. In Proverbs chapter 10, verse 23, it says, "It is a sport to a fool to do mischief, but a man of understanding hath wisdom." King Solomon, the most wisest man to ever live, is saying right here that a person that just does mischief for fun is a fool. And that's how I make my bread and butter, is I just like to do mischief for fun. And when you actually look at the word prank, a similar or synonym word for it is mischief. So mischief and prank mean the same thing. But once I truly submitted myself to Jesus Christ, once I truly started reading his word, I got wisdom and I got understanding. And, you know, with this understanding, I would be a fool to go back into my old ways and keep on causing mischief, keep on pranking people, keep on ruining people's day just for my financial gain. I'll be a fool to do that. And not only would I be a fool, but I would be evil, especially with this understanding that I have. Can be half for the world and half for God.
That's how I talk to myself.
All of us.
Yeah.
Not just half of us. And
right.
When I came to that realization, that was the catalyst of me knowing that I was gonna have to stop doing pranks and eventually wipe as much as I could off the internet that I posted out there.
As he said, he wants to be submitted in God. He's submitted himself in God. He doesn't want to be half the world, half in God. What God's been telling me lately is when I try to, you know, serve both the world and God, that's makes me a whore. I don't know if YouTube's gonna let me say that. That's what whores do. They say to your face that they'll commit, and they may commit while they're with you, but they go out and sleep with other people, and you know, they're for the world, but then they come back and try to worship you on Sunday. You know, some people only worship God one day of the week, and that's not good. That's the church being a whore, as Israel did, prostituting themselves, serving other gods outside of his covenant. It's a daily process. It's a daily submission. You have to submit to God daily. Choose him daily, because there's going to be things in your life. Life happens. It offers you choices, whether you can choose God or the world every day. And every day you have to choose and say, no, I'm going to choose God and I'm going to be committed to him. Like, that's even like if you want to be married, you know, like if you can't submit to God first, then how do you expect to submit to your husband or your wife? If you submit to God first, and let's see how you do. That's your practice for marriage. So if you can obey him and not go out and whore and have wandering eyes, you know, like be submitted to him.
My bread and butter was provoking people. Like, I was so good at it. I knew
getting people
how to press
act out
people's
a character.
buttons.
You're getting up behind that line. You're bugging me when I'm drawing. I've told you 2 times to get out of here. You think you're funny. You're about as funny as a brain tumor. Right, dude, I've told you like 4 times, get off that chair.
I actually love that video
It's
too.
not your chair. If you don't get out of here right now, you're really gonna regret it, man. All right,
I'll get out
you
your
go
way.
behind this rope again, and you'll fuck you up, dude, right? Dude, I have told you, if you touch that paper again,
I just want to slice the paper.
All right, I'll mess you up. Get out of here right now. I've told you 4 or 5 times.
He all up in
Stop
his
touching
mind.
the desk. Stop touching the paper.
About to be humiliated in front of millions of people. And I really didn't care, you know? As long as it furthered my goal, as long as it furthered my career, like, I could really care less. And
That's why I think that the Bible, you know, it tells you something straight up, and then you'll have to actually experience life to see why God said that. Like, I always heard money is the root of all evil, you know? And I'm like, okay, but it makes me happy. I know I can get things that I want, so why is it evil? But it's evil because when you start making enough of it, and if you start making money off of people's anger, profiting off of people, you know, like his pranks, then like you said, he didn't care, and it'll make people heartless. It'll make them go against their morals, their core values. You know, Gideon, it sounds like he always had God rooted in him. It was taught to him, but for money, it made him not care.
this is my last point right here. The world is in for trouble because of the way it causes people to sin. There will always be something to cause people to sin, but anyone who does this will be in for trouble. So basically what Christ is saying right here is the world is already in trouble because there's sin in it. But there's going to be even more trouble for the people that are causing people to sin. The influence that I have,
influencing people.
I know for a fact. I've seen it. I've caused a lot of people to sin. Verse 8, if your hand or foot causes you to sin, chop it off, throw it away.
We all know this scripture.
To go into life crippled or lame than to have 2 hands or 2 feet and be thrown into fire that never goes out. If your eye causes you to sin, poke it out and get rid of it. You will be better off to go into life with only 1 eye than to have 2 eyes and be thrown into the fires of hell. So Christ isn't being literal here when he's telling us to chop off our arms,
Right.
poke out our eye,
Get rid of what's causing you to do
what he's
evil.
saying is, whatever it is that's causing us to sin, we need to cut it out of our life.
Yes.
And a lot of you guys got this message. I've gotten so many messages from supporters saying that they stopped watching me because of the content that I was making because they wanted to get closer with Jesus.
Yeah. I have to do that daily.
That cut me off. I applaud you. I really applaud you. I got nothing but respect and I love you for cutting me off. Thank you. And for the ones of you that came back to me, I appreciate you guys for coming back, you know. Now you guys can watch some good content. But this is for the ones of you who won't cut me off. These are for the ones of you that love me for the way I was. I can't be the way I was anymore.
Yeah.
And I won't ever be the way I was anymore.
Amen.
So,
you see, that's what God makes you do. You'll see that when you start following him and studying his word more, that his characteristics will start to bleed onto you, you know, and it'll make you start to love how he loved. And if you really love someone, just as Gideon said, you won't provoke them, you won't, you know, motivate them to do evil. He deleted all his content because he's tired of blocking people's paths. There are people every day, myself included, everyone who follows Christ struggles every day and wrestles between their will and God's will, and he already knows that his content was promoting their will to win. He doesn't want to be anyone's stumbling block, and I love that. I love that he was wise enough and strong enough to give it up. I know God honors that separation. He honors that sacrifice, and it's a daily process. So Gideon, I'm praying for your sustainability, for your perseverance, and don't give up, because this path is narrow. Don't give up. All right, I'll see you guys next Wednesday. I really enjoyed this video. I've been trying to make more content more focused on God anyway. I try to do it as much as I can because I just want people, you know, I want him to get the glory out of my life, and I just don't want my channel to only promote silly stuff. You know, I'll react to some songs that are, you know, maybe contrary towards his ways, but you know, I always want to come back to like, hey, this is what my channel is rooted in, because this is what I'm rooted in, and I want people to always remember who I serve. But yeah, I hope this video reaches the audience it's supposed to reach. And yeah, promoting God today, I love it. Definitely feel fulfilled. Made a good video. See you guys next Wednesday, and hope you enjoyed the video.